Hey, what's up, metal and heavy music fans? It's Flight of Icarus again with MetalTrenches.com, and if you like to stay up to date with the best and brightest metal albums and bands from the underground and above, then stick with me by hitting that subscribe button down below. Let's get into it. Alright, first up we've got Colorado doom and sludge band Primitive Man with another bleak and hopeless recording, Immersion, via Relapse Records. Primitive Man had become a centerpiece of the extreme doom genre over the past several years, reaching an impressive peak with 2017's critically lauded Caustic. But far from that album's rather ambitious scope and 1 hour and 18-minute runtime, Immersion sees the band once more stripping their sound back to basics. When I spoke to frontman Ethan McCarthy on the podcast about what to expect this time around, he responded by saying that it was not a fun record, and that says a lot given that Primitive Man are already known for their bleak and nihilistic atmosphere.
It is very bleak. I think it's the best my vocals have sounded. I think it's the best that our band has sounded on a recording.
It's an album that takes me back to the group's early days with Scorn, harrowing, minimalistic compositions with shorter runtimes, all clocking in at a modest 36 minutes. No more 13-plus minute trudges through the unknown, no cathartic eruptions of D-beat, just pure existential dread. Menacing kicks off with some sick blast beats, but only long enough to remind you of the release you so desperately crave, but will never be rewarded. And speaking of which, that music video's sick. I did a reaction to that. There's a lot of Twin Peaks references on there, so definitely check that out as well. But in any case, the rest of this album is pure misery right down to the eternal swarming insect guitars of Entity and raw, unadulterated noise of Infinity. Led as always by one of the most tormented vocal performances in the game, I can think of few more appropriate albums to drop at this present moment than Immersion. Primitive Man have once more perfectly captured all of the darkest facets of human existence and laid them bare for all to see. Stick around after this video because there's going to be plenty more in addition to these roundups, full album reviews, track reactions and commentaries, tier lists, and the podcast where I interview these very interesting and talented musicians. So plenty of reason to subscribe if you haven't already. Find links to all these albums in the description along with our usual links to our social media, the email newsletter, and our Patreon and Subscribe Star if you want to make that extra leap to becoming a supporter. But that'll do it for now. Flight of Icarus signing off. I will see you in the trenches.